The Amazing Atheist has come up with a list of 10 questions, I don't know, ethical dilemmas or whatever. Um, I'm going to answer them. I'm going to answer them really quick, and I'm going to answer them the way I always answer such questions, which is I don't have to accept the premises. If the premises are ridiculous, then, I can just psychoanalyze the purpose of the question. Question number one was if you had to choose between your life as it is now and you'll never be any better than you are at this moment, or a life where you would become president of the United States or whatever the highest public office is in your country, but you get assassinated a year before leaving office, which would you choose? Well, I mean, obviously, I choose to continue living. I don't particularly desire to become the president. I see my current state of life as one where I can improve, so in that case, I really lose nothing by keeping my current life. And it's sort of a question about how happy you are with your current life. But yeah, even if I couldn't, uh, I don't know what it means by become any better. I don't really understand the idea of continuing to be alive, but able to become better at something. But if you mean richer or anything else, really, I mean the question, it's about living. If there was more detail, I might choose to become president of the United States if you could convince me there was something I thought I could do. Would you rather be the greatest genius, is question two, genius of all time, but not be appreciated or until after you're dead, or would you rather be appreciated while you're alive? Well, I don't really care about being appreciated while I'm alive or while I'm dead, so I would choose being the greatest genius in actuality over giving a damn what people think. That's, again, just a part of individuality, right? Would you rather have an ugly sexual partner who was great in bed or a beautiful partner who sucked in bed but made people envious of you? Well, I've never been faced with that decision, and it's hard to imagine that I would, since if I thought somebody was ugly, I would not be sleeping with them in the first place to find out how great of a lover they were. Would you rather be the lead singer of a mediocre band or the world's greatest poet with a small fan following? Well, I don't believe there is such a thing as the world's greatest poet, but given the premise of the question, I'd rather be a great poet than a mediocre rock band. Again, this is like, would you rather be appreciated or be better? I mean, why people would rather be appreciated, I guess I know why, but not really. Reality trumps. Reality is always better. What people think doesn't mean that much. Um, but whatever. If you had a chance to open one of two doors, question five, and one led to the fulfillment of my dreams and the other had an axe murderer who would chop me into pieces, would I open the door? No, I don't need to roll the dice to fulfill my dreams. If by killing yourself all of your enemies would be destroyed as well, would you kill yourself? No, I don't keep enemies. I think keeping enemies is a favor to the enemy, so I don't keep enemies. So I don't have a list, so I don't have any pent up satisfaction that I would get from their destruction. If you had to take a car trip with a Vietnam vet with a serious mental health problems and a gun, or a Christian conservative who passed judgment, which would you go? I would take the judgmental Christian because that's not a physical danger to me, and people passing judgment on me is of almost no consequence and actually can be somewhat entertaining. 8. If I could attain immortality by stomping a little girl's pet kitten to death before her crying eyes every Christmas, would you do it? There's a theme in these questions of a moral question versus what supposedly is an obvious material gain. No, I would not choose that, though I would like to be immortal. That would be great. I would do a lot of things if I thought they could make me immortal, but I would not choose a life in which I had to stomp kittens. That's not what I'm going for. If you love someone with all your heart and they hated everything about you, would you shorten their life by 10 years if it meant they would love you in return? This would be a better question if it had the slip that I just made and shorten my own life. Because it's impossible. This isn't even a question. There's no choice here. If you love the person, then you would not choose that to shorten their life. End of story. 10. If you died and went to hell and it was every bit as horrible as the Christians say, and the devil offered you 1 year reprieve from the agony of hell for each person you tempted to damnation, would you take his deal? Wow. That's probably the most interesting question because it makes me accept a hypothetical that is totally unacceptable, that hell really exists. And if I accepted that, I mean, um, I'm not sure what I would think. That's too big of a world change. But to take it simply, um, no, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't consider that a reprieve. That would be hell.